School District Board of Education, I hereby certify that all provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, New Jersey law, have been met. Notice of this meeting was mailed to South Jersey Times, the Sentinel, and the Daily Journal, as well as the municipal clerks of Elk and Franklin Township. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the presentations.
Yes.
We have it.
We do have a presentation, our annual budget presentation. No one can please show.
Really going to go through this whole motion?
I'll go through it very quickly.
I'm trying to save you work.
Do I just tap the news or get?
I got it. I think you can touch it.
So, welcome to the annual budget presentation. Those of you who are board members have sat through this for months now, so there's really nothing I'm going to say new tonight that you haven't heard already. This is more for the public. And we'll start with our budget goals. Every year before we create the budget, the first thing we talk about is what our goals are for that year. These are the 4 things that we put in the forefront in our minds when it came to creating the budget for this year. Obviously, first and foremost, always to have a superior academic and extracurricular program. Always, it's about the kids first. Second, we started this last year and we are absolutely going full forward on this again this year, is having opportunities and expanding them for all students, not just those who are going to college or the military, but those who are going into the workforce. Dr. Fitzpatrick is already thinking ahead about other CTE programs he can create and put in place. We are very excited about that. Once again, we're going to continue our technology initiatives. We committed to technology many years ago, and we benefited our students by doing that, and so we'll continue to keep up with that. And last but not least, we have some facility improvements. I think you all agree with me because we've talked about this. Given the responsibility of running a district like Delsea, we have a moral obligation to make sure that we maintain the facilities to a level that the taxpayers deserve. And taxes have been paid to this district for many, many years, so we want to make sure that the facilities, when we finish with them and move on in our lives, are left as just in good shape as we receive them. How do we save? First of all, we want to know, are you saving any money? Are you doing anything to save money? Yes, we are doing everything in our life to save money, everything possible. You know about our transportation services. We share those with many districts. I don't know of any other district, perhaps other than special services, who might transport as many students as we do across the state and across the county for sure. We have at least, I think we said 16 transportation joints this year. We hope to have that next year or possibly even more. That saves money and it brings revenue into the district. So that's a huge cost saving issue. We run transportation services for Elk Township, for Clayton, and for Gloucester School District. So we are in charge of their transportation, even though they don't necessarily use our buses. But it's a way to save money, offsets the cost of our personnel to those districts, which is wonderful. We talk about this every year, Elk Township. There is not a single other service we can share with Elk Township. We share everything with them. Superintendent, assistant superintendent, business administrator, facilities manager, technology, director of CST, everything. And as far as I'm concerned, that saves both districts a lot of money. And even better, it aligns us into what I call a pre-K to 12 district. Because Elk and Delsea are without a doubt a pre-K to 12 district without any breakage in between. Elk shares with us their evaluation research coordinator, and so we can take advantage of their facilities as well. Franklin Township, we share our. This year we had to increase the cost a little bit because we were kind of finding ourselves a little bit in the red, so they have agreed to do that, but it's once again a shared cost. The same folks do both districts, which is also helpful when it comes to the transition between the districts. Tech knows what they have, they know what we have, and they can kind of make that join together. And of course, we belong to the school health insurance fund, which every year saves us, for the most part, money on premiums. What's new in 22-23? We're going to continue our choice school status. I believe currently we have 60 choice students. They come with full funding from the state, so that is something that is an absolute wonderful revenue enhancement as well, because we never had to hire new teachers. We were able to fit them in with our current staff, so that's a bonus for us.
How many students, pardon me, how many?
I want to say we have about 60, I think.
Okay. That's a lot more than last year?
No, it's about the same.
Thank you.
And we also have a waiting list for kids trying to get in, so that's a great sign as well. We are continuing to work on structured work experiences for our students. We have Mr. Daigle, who literally finds work experiences for our kids to go in the afternoon. He can go visit them and check on them. So we're getting our kids in the workforce prior to them even graduating, which is helpful to them. And of course, we're creating additional trades classes. You know about our construction class. We had a second teacher last year. That was wonderful. And next year, like I said, we just had a conversation today, and we have some ideas about what's coming up for our kids in that area. Joe, I'll let you do the numbers.
Yep, okay. I'm going to talk about the number portion of the budget. Budget essentially, in its basic form, revenue has to equal expenditures. Very simple. What we have here is a comparison between last year and this year. The budget's also broken into 3 separate funds: operating fund, debt service fund, and a special revenue fund, which is grants and entitlements from federal and state sources. You'll see the differences. There's another slide later, but you'll see a slight increase in our operating income, our operating fund, from increased state aid, which was extremely helpful this year, because one of the byproducts of this environment that we're in, called COVID environment, and you all, I'm sure everybody's filled up their car with gas in the last couple of weeks. Gas prices are through the roof. All petroleum products are through the roof. Workers, there's been a shortage of the workforce, period, in the world. What happens when there's a shortage? There's a high demand, supplies low, prices go up. Fuel prices alone have gone up this year. We're already overexpended from what we budgeted. What other petroleum products we have? Tires for petroleum products. Anything related to petroleum products, the price has skyrocketed. Salaries, again, supply and demand. We need, I'll give you a great example, bus drivers across the country, not just our state, not just us, across the country. Bus drivers are in huge demand, huge. What do we have to do to draw these people in? Increase the salaries, get more people in. So the increase in state aid timing was perfect for us this year, thankfully. Repayment of debt, just like the mortgage on your house, each year it goes down more with your principal. So that's the second group. Grants and entitlements. These are monies from federal and state sources. Majority of the grants and entitlements in our funds are from the federal sources. It's down a little bit this year, but if you remember last year with all the COVID money that we got from the federal government, the number is a little higher last year. So this year it's gone down a little. Bottom line is our total budget, $42 million and some change. So again, primary, basic, simple budget. Revenue has to equal expenditures. Here's a descriptive pie chart of our revenue. You see where they come from. You're going to see 2 big pieces, here and here. There are 2 big sources of revenue. They come from state aid, and they come from property taxes. Now, this bigger one over here, okay, that's property taxes, almost 42%. State aid, 38%. Essentially, that's our revenue source. We have basically 2 sources. We do have, as Dr. Graver mentioned, we do have some miscellaneous revenue sources such as transportation revenue, tuition revenue. We all know about the agreement we have with Newfield, but essentially, property taxes and state aid make up our budget. You'll see that the total, again, we're just talking about the operating fund here, not the entire budget. That was 42, the operating was at 39. We are presenting a 2% increase this year of $324,000, 2% increase in the property tax level, which is the maximum with which we can go to. Here's a detail of our state aid increase. You'll see it was an additional $567,000 in state aid, which again, timing is perfect. Like I said earlier, incredible amount of increase in salaries. Not incredible, but an increase in salaries, an increase in fuel costs, an increase in tuition costs when we send a child out to a private school for the disabled. Again, their salary costs have gone up. So what happens? They pass that back on to us. We're sending our child there, the tuition goes up.
again, a perfect storm, perfect time for this increase in state aid. Here's our other side. Revenue has to equal expenditures, like we said. Here's a detail about our expenditures. You'll see where we are spending our money. The categories on the right-hand side, they're broken down based on the state of New Jersey's chart of accounts. You can see that, where they are, and where we're charging, where we're expending our money in those chart of accounts. Okay? This here is that same chart we saw a couple seconds ago, okay? But what I've done is I've pulled out salary, which is this big slice over here, and benefits, which is the second big slice over here. All right? What that shows is that, look, almost 49% goes to salary, and then another 12.5% go to benefits, right off the get-go from our budget. That's taken out. That doesn't include transportation, that doesn't include tuition, that doesn't include supplies, that doesn't include maintenance, doesn't include the grounds. We still have a tremendous amount of our operating that we have to budget for, but those two pieces are already taken out before we start. One of the things you may have heard of is Chapter 44. One of the slides before that benefits, health benefits is included in that. Over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of discussion about contributions to health insurance from the employees. Recently, as of January 1st, 2021, new legislation was put into place called Chapter 44, which changed how they contribute to the health insurance plan. What it has done is as the premiums have lowered a little, but the contributions have also lowered from our employees for those who chose to go into the plan. So what does it mean? That means less contributions from the employees to the district, which means we're paying more of the premiums. What the overall increase was, what I had done here in the bottom, you'll see that 1.55% as the premium of the employees' contribution, it has decreased. So again, that's more money that the district has to put out. Another thing, what we have done here, as Dr. Graver mentioned previously, about our facilities. Our state, what we have a project going on, has two buildings. One, what we hope to have going on, it's presently out for pricing. Over at the stadium, the one building we have not used for over a year and a half. We can't. It's been essentially closed down. It needs a tremendous amount of repairs. It's an old building, and we're not going to put new money into an old building and repair it. So what we've done is we pulled money for our capital reserve, and we have a plan to replace those buildings over the football stadium. And the other piece of that project is we're going to be adding bathrooms to the other side, outdoor bathrooms to the other side of campus, coming off the back of the locker rooms. So there's two buildings that we're going to hopefully build over the summer and maybe into the fall, hopefully not too much into the fall. But that money's coming out of our capital reserve. That's money that we've set aside over the last 10 or 12 years for a project. It's not affecting the tax rate. It's not in the calculation of the tax rate. If we take those projects out, your tax rate's going to stay the same, okay? But those projects are being hopefully done, like I said, over the summer and into the fall. What I've had here is the state of New Jersey compiles information from around the state for similar districts like ours. Okay, there's 46 districts that are considered limited, regional, 7 to 12. If you look all the way to your right, unfortunately, the state's a little behind in their compiling of information, so all I have is 1920. But what I've done is taken the last one available and compared it to what we're proposing in 22-23. Okay? You'll see where we are in comparison. Again, this is 3 years ago, really. But what our ranking was as of 1920, where we are this year. Some of the numbers are less than what they were in 1920. Some obviously with the increase in cost would be a little higher, but still not a tremendous change from where we were 3 years ago as far as numbers. We maintain where we are, and we try to do that with everything. Far right, you'll see, like I said, 46 districts similar to ours. You'll see our ranking, lowest being 1, highest being 46. There's only one, most of ours, we're in the bottom half of the state, really, except for one, purchase services. But part of purchase services is we have an agreement to bring in aides, classroom aides, substitute teachers and things like that, so. But again, we're at the bottom half of the state when it comes to comparative comparison. So what does this all mean? What does it mean for your property taxes, which is what everyone's asking? With the budget we're presenting for Elk Township, per $100 of assessed value, we are looking at an increase of 4 cents. For Franklin Township, we're looking at an increase of 1.25 cents per $100. So here's a real quick calculation of how it would affect. Now understand something too. This is only an estimate. I do not have the final assessed valuation numbers yet. This is an estimate based on what we have now. It'll be very close. I don't see a lot of huge changes, but it's still an estimate. It could vary a little bit. What does it look like? An average home, an average assessed home in Elk Township is $209,000 and some change. That household will pay an additional $83.84 per year or next year for Delsea's regional tax. Franklin Township, on an average assessed home, is looking at $235 per year. Again, based on the assessed valuation. What does 1 penny mean? Okay, for Elk Township, 1 penny means $321,000 and change, and Franklin Township means $334,000 and some change. For senior citizens, property tax freeze, regardless, it does not matter what the school tax is. If the property tax status is frozen, it will not go above that amount. I know you have to pay first, and then it's reimbursed to you, but your property taxes will not increase, providing your income's under $94,000 and change. Okay? Any questions?
Public comments on the budget? Yes.
Good evening, Bill Morris, Oak Avenue, Malaga. Simple question, on the proposed buildings, what if the estimate's coming over what's in the budget? What's the contingency plan?
Contingency plan is to cut some of the project. We will not go over that amount.
Okay,
Yeah, very
Thank you.
simple. I don't have that.
no, that's a reasonable answer.
Yeah. No discussion, no. It's only there for discussion.
Budget and finance.
I make a motion to approve the resolution adopting the 2022-2023 budget as presented.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call. Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio?
Yes.
Mr. Lightfoot?
Yes.
Mr. DiMatteo?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvia?
No.
President votes yes. Motion carried.
Do you want to go right into our next part of the meeting, Joe, or?
Before we have this one more section, there's another motion regarding the capital reserve money.
Just a motion adopting the withdrawal from capital reserves.
Can you read that? It's right under the budget.
I make a motion to adopt the withdrawal from the capital reserve fund for 2022-2023 district budget as listed.
Second.
Any questions?
Yes.
Roll call vote. Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio?
Yes.
Mr. Lightfoot?
Yes.
Mr. DiMatteo?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvia? Yes. President votes yes, motion passes.
Go right into the regular meeting.
Okay.
Yes, so we're waiting for the kids. Kids are outside.
Ciao.
Thanks, Mr. Light.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Dennis students.
Hello.
That's wrong. Come on up front, guys.
Certainly.
With Alex always in the front and always leading the charge.
They keep the pretty faces in front.
Everything.
Oh, thank you.
DEC is one of the programs we're really proud of at Delsea, and Mrs. Fisher does an amazing job with our kids, and they have such great learning experiences. So this is, she's here to present a little bit of information about what's going on with DECA this year.
I am. Thank you very much, Dr. Gravener. And thank you, board members, for letting us come and indulge you a little bit with what our DECA students have done this year. I'm going to actually introduce Alex Baldessaro, our DECA president, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about his experience. And we're going to let all of the students share just a few seconds of their time. I think it's important for you to hear this because you have invested in them. You've approved money for their competitions, and this is your return on your investment. So, Alex, if you would.
So like Ms. Fisher said, I'm Alex Baldessaro, I'm the DECA president. For my event was Entrepreneurship Business Growth Plan. So I actually competed on my personal business. It had to be registered with the state and everything. It was Baldessaro Lawn Care. It's fancy for cutting grass in the summer, you know? So I competed on that and how I could grow my business further. And something I got out of this was my first year going to ICDC, the national competition, and I just loved meeting the people, networking and all that. Because not only were I able to meet people from all across the state, but it also went further to people across the country. So I thought that was really cool. And now we're going to hear from our Leadership Academy participants.
So my name is Sydney Ball,
I'm Marissa Kalanzi.
and we both were partners on a project. We had to write an 85-page chronicle paper of the DECA activities that we do as a chapter, and we went to the Aspire Leadership Academy. And something that I learned was, like Alex said, the networking, but they had business people who were in our shoes where they came from, and it taught us that there's bumps in the road, and just to keep moving forward.
My partner and I really enjoyed the small group activities that the Aspire Academy held for us. We did family budgeting as one of the activities, and that taught us the value of money and to determine the needs and wants in a family.
I am Fabiola Joaquin, and our chapter got the opportunity to have seats in the Leadership Academy. We recruited 20 alumni students and 20 business partners to join DECA membership campaign, and as well we did a fundraiser of over $900 for New Jersey Community Service Project for pediatric cancer. Leadership Academy was an amazing experience because I got to communicate with people. I'm very shy, so it was really hard to talk to people, but I communicate with everyone, which was really fun.
My name is David Bucciarello, and one experience that I took away from the Thrive Academy was where we did a group activity where I got to be a manager in a fake company for my group. And basically I got to learn a lot of things about that position. And one thing that I really took away is that you have to be really efficient with your words when running a group. And I think that taught me a lot.
Hi, I'm Alistair Farr, and I participated in the Thrive Academy. The thing that I took the most was a phrase that one of our trainers used. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Emphasizing the importance of connections and, not knowing when the people that you meet on a daily basis could help you down the line.
All right, so now we're going to hear from our event competitors.
Hi, I'm Michaela Giuliano. And I'm Sasha Rakeen. And we actually had the opportunity to compete at ICDC this year for project management career development. Essentially what that meant is we had to come up with a campaign to how we could better increase career understanding and explanation at Delsea Regional High School. And in order to do that, we actually had an alumni panel where our underclassmen were able to participate and listen to our attendees answer set questions about just college and career as a whole.
So this project really was a great connection for like our future and what we're gonna do. DECA overall for me allowed me to figure out what I want to do in my future, and that's be an accountant and go to college for that. So everything DECA has done for me for the past 3 years has been really amazing, and I'm really thankful for that. And this project just made it even better to like connect with those people who have graduated from like high school and what they're doing right now and how it's going for them.
And then personally for me, doing the career development project let me see the importance of using your pre-existing connections and how you can make that so much better for the underclassmen or the people around you if you just give them those opportunities.
Hello, I'm Emily Coates.
And I'm Paula Thompson. And we did a project management event for financial literacy.
So for our project, we went to Ritter Elementary School and taught the elementary students how to be responsible with their money and spending and saving and all that fun stuff.
So for our project, I took out that the topic was really just like, it helped me get a better understanding of spending and saving. But the whole ICDC trip gave me problem-solving skills about like just figuring out what we're doing for our project and making it better and changing it up.
Yeah, for me, the whole ICDC trip taught me so many different things, but specifically responsibility and time management skills, because basically when you're down there, you're in charge of getting where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. So that's something that was kind of new for me, and I know many of us, so that was very cool to learn and cool to experience, so I'm very thankful for that experience.
Hello, I'm Grace Hunter.
And I'm Annalise Eubanks.
And we competed in a project management sales project in which we did promotional activities in order to increase the sales of Delsea yearbooks. So one thing I've taken away from this is how important it is to like do a student interactive activity to have like get the students excited to purchase something like a yearbook for Delsea.
So our project was we basically had an increase of sales for our yearbook. We wanted every student to have a yearbook in our community because it is important. So we saw that after having our whole group as a whole like work together, how important it is to have everyone as a community get together. And since like everyone got together, we saw that how it can increase. And then we also learned that time management is important. We were on like a very strict timeline, and with that we were able to accomplish our goals.
So now we're going to hear from our school-based enterprise competitors.
So my name is Trinity Weatherby, and we competed with our school-based enterprise. We achieved a gold level this year for our certification, and we have achieved the certification for a past couple years since 2004. We achieved this through a 25-page paper that we wrote to recertify, and one of the 3 things that we were supposed to write about within this paper, we were required to present on and compete with at ICDC. I think one of the biggest takeaways that I got from all of these experiences is just being in DECA as a family. I have grown with all these people that you see before you for the past 3 years, and it's definitely been an experience. And going to ICDC with all these people, it definitely taught me that even the people that you don't think much of, they're definitely there for you all the time. So. I'm Alana Stockdale. So through this experience, we got to participate in a leadership academy for SBE, and this allowed us to learn how other schools run their SBEs so that we can improve ours.
So during this workshop, we got to really realize how thankful we are for our school store. After comparing ourselves to people from SBs across the nation, we realized some people literally have their school store on a cart, when we are lucky enough to have our whole storefront that is supported greatly by our high school and our Board of Ed, so we're really grateful for that.
So after hearing from everybody, we just wanted to thank you again for your continued support for our program. Obviously, we all have gained very valuable experience throughout our years in DECA. So on behalf of the club and me personally, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you guys, that was great. Thank you so much.
If I could just say one more thing though before we end. The investment that they put into this in order to get to this level, it's financially quite a commitment. and we do appreciate what the board does for us. This trip for taking 18 people to Atlanta for 5 days was $21,000. Our board is wonderful and gives us $5,000 of that money. The rest of that money was earned on their sweat equity. They cleaned roads, they did coin drops, they bagged at ShopRite, they sold hoagies, water ice, pretzels, Chick-fil-A. Everything that wasn't nailed down has been sold as a fundraiser. And once they did all of that, they still went out and got sponsors. They had enough sponsors that they were able to pay for the trip for everybody, including their food expenses. So I just want you to know they are just as invested in this as you are. And the proof is in the pudding. Guys, could you just turn around for a minute? I'd like them to see all of the businesses in the community. Every line here represents a business in this community that has sponsored them. And that's because they give back too. So I just wanted you to know that. And thank you so much for all of your support.
I'd like to thank you for coming before us, because I know we really enjoy seeing the students and recognizing their achievements, and
Well, thank you very much. You have to know the return on your investment.
Did a very good job in Atlantic City, too. I was down there, I witnessed that.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
I was one of your judges.
Thank you for coming. Bring friends next time. I almost need more judges.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
folks, thank you.
Thank you so
Have a good night.
guys. Thank you.
can I have a motion for reading the minutes?
Make a motion to be accepted as sent out.
Second?
Any questions? All in favor? Abstention? Passes. No communications?
No communications, no.
Are there any citizens to be heard? Yes.
At last month's meeting, we brought up, I think I brought up about the time change. Is there anything new?
Not to my knowledge, Ms. Zelinski, no. Right now, I think it's still in the legislature's hands, but I don't think anything has been signed or approved.
Does the board have anything to say about that time change, for or against it?
Not if we're mandated to change it, they don't, no. But they could change it any time if they wanted to, but not unless, if we're mandated, we have to follow the rules.
Because I had looked into a few things, and one of them was, they have a curfew in Franklin Township, and the curfew is 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday is 11 o'clock. A lot of these sports, when they're playing basketball or wrestling, might go over that time limit, and there's quite a bit of students attending these sports events. I don't want to see a child being hauled into the police station because he's getting home late because of the time change. That's very, to me, very unacceptable.
Right.
I don't like the time change. I would be okay if it started maybe 8, 7:30. I'm not sure what time they even come in the morning.
Our high school students come in at 7:15, 7:10 in the morning.
So,
School starts.
okay, so 8:30 I would be okay with. 9 o'clock and then when are these kids going to be able to practice their sports, after school? There's not enough time for them after school to go to the next sporting event.
Yeah.
They have to practice before they go to the sporting
Right.
event. I think there's too much for that time change. I'm not.
I recognize your concerns. Truly do.
Thanks, Ms.
I don't
Zelinski.
think there's enough time for the kids to even study it, even if they go to their sporting events.
We all know there's not enough time in the day.
No.
Thank you for your input. We recognize your concerns.
Thanks, Mrs. Zelinski.
Look into it, I'm not for that time change at all. It's just too much for me to accept anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not for the time change.
I understand your concerns, Mrs. Levinson.
Well, I hope they they understand too, I don't even know. Now, a couple of years ago, Governor Christie wanted to increase, like, what is it, 5 hours, 6 hours during school, about 5 or 6 hours? And he wanted to increase it an hour even, but that was, I guess, shot down because it didn't go through as far as I know. I'm for that, you know, an extra hour, but I think that would be a benefit to the students, the extra
Yeah.
hour.
Yes, thank you very much.
I don't know if they're considering that, but I would.
Thank you.
If I had anything to say about it, I have a lot to say about it.
So 8, I make a motion to approve item A through S. Are there any questions? Thank you. Very good. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. Very good. Very good. I make a motion to approve items T through W.
Second.
Any questions? This is roll call. Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio?
Yes.
Mr. Lake, I apologize. Mr. Dematia?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio?
Yes to having to T and U to
President votes yes, motion passes. We're going into committees. Personnel is Mr. Gurley. Is there anybody who would like to take that?
I'll take it.
Thank you, Jeff.
I make a motion to approve the following teaching staff hires as listed.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote. Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio?
Yes.
Mr. Dematia?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio?
Yes.
President votes yes, motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following non-teaching staff hires as listed.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote. Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio?
Yes.
Mr. Dematia?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio?
Yes.
President votes yes, motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following retirements as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
I make a motion to approve the following leaves of absences as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following tutors for 2022-2023 school year at the previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? Any questions? No? Opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following instructional aids for homework clinic assistants at $20 per hour as listed.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote. Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio?
Yes.
Mr. Dematia?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio?
Yes.
President votes yes, motion passes.
I make a motion to approve Ann Papiano to work 2 summer evenings in the Middle School Media Center from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following to serve as support staff for our SAFE students with after-school activities at the rate of $30 per hour as listed.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote, Mr. Petrillo.
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio.
Yes.
Mr. Demaria.
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvia. Yes. President votes yes. Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the following substitute nurses at previously approved rate for the 2022-23 school year as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following staff for the organizational management program for 2022-23 school year as previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following child study team members for summer work at previously approved rate as listed, not to exceed 8 days.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following staff as the district public relations liaisons for 2022-23 school year at previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve Daniel Cliver as a district public relations videographer and photographer at the previously approved rate for 2022-23 school year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve Renetta Medic as a summer online proctor for the personal financial literacy course at specially approved rate for 2022-2023 school year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following tech, ABA, auditorium manager advisor positions for 2022-23 school year at a previously approved rate.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve tech crew assistant manager for 2022-23 school year at a previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the 2022 instructional improvement summer positions at the previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following alternative school and bookbinder staff for the 2022-23 school year as previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following 2022-23 Schedule B non-athletic positions as listed.
Second.
All in, I apologize, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following staff for summer 2022 shape positions at a previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve Lakeisha Powell as the educational technology coach for 2022 instructional improvement summer position for 15 days at a previously approved rate.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve Lakeisha Powell to create online tutorials for new district learning platforms at $30 per hour, not to exceed 40 hours.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote, Mr. Petrillo.
Yes.
Mr. Dormeo?
Yes.
Mr. Demanio? Mrs. DeSilvia? Yes. President votes yes, motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following club with their volunteer advisors for 2022-23 school year as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following staff for the summer extended school year program from July 5th to August 4th, 2022 at a previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following summer bus drivers, summer bus aides, and summer bus garage staff per negotiated agreement as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following summer custodians at a previously approved rate as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the following student tech workers from 7/1/22 through 8/31/22 as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the 2022-23 employment exhibits as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the renewal of the following staff reports as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I make a motion to approve the administration carryover days.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Is that it, Mr. Rubin?
That's it.
Nothing else?
That's-
See what you get for volunteer
Mr.
time?
Borelli owes me. I'll tell you that right now. He's on pay.
There's some water jumping.
Pardon?
Some water?
Yeah, I'm with grass.
Okay, make a motion to approve the board secretary's report in accordance with state statute for the month of March 2022. The board secretary certifies that no line item account has been overspent in violation of state statute, with sufficient funds available to meet the district financial obligations for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the treasury report in accordance with state statute for the month of March 2022. The treasury report and the secretary's report are in agreement for the month of March 2022.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve in accordance with state statute as certification of board secretary, and there's no changes in anticipated revenue amounts or revenue sources.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the board education certification on the state statute that we certified after review with the secretary's monthly financial report and upon consultation with the appropriate district's officials. To the best of our knowledge, no major account or funds have been overexpended in violation of state statute, and their sufficient funds are available to meet the district financial obligations for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the report of transfers for March 2022.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote, Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dormini?
Yes.
Mr. DiMatteo?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio? President Rich, yes, motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the following bills as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Would anyone like to take education? Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the following clinics and workshops as listed.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote, Mr. Petrillo?
Yes.
Mr. Dominion?
Yes.
Mr. DiMatteo?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio? Yes. President Rich, yes, motion passes.
Make a motion to approve Apex, Edgeshire, and Gloucester Summer School as accredited credit recovery vendor for 2022-2023 school year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the 2022-2023 developed list of summer reading list.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the submission of 2023 Perkins grant.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the annual school performance report for 2021-2022 school year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve New Jersey High School voter registration law annual statement of insurance.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the 2022-2023 district school calendar.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the equity plan statement of insurance for 2022-2023 school year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the submission of the American Rescue Plan Homeless Children and Youth 2 application.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the following Rowan University students for clinical practice placement as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Does anyone care to take policy?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I make a motion to approve on the first reading the following policies and regulations as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Athletics.
I'll take that. Nothing there.
Yeah, building grounds.
No.
Okay. Very good.
I will take those too.
Cafeteria.
I make a motion to approve the following cafeteria report for March 2022 as listed.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. Excuse me. Thank you, Mrs. DeSilvio. There's no transportation, so we're going to the superintendent's report.
Recommend the board approve the following special education tuition student placements as listed.
So moved.
Any questions? Roll call vote, Mr. Petrillo.
Yes.
Mr. Dormini.
Yes.
Mr. DiMatteo.
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio.
Yes.
President Rich, yes, motion passes.
Recommend the board approve the following field trips in accordance with our fee schedule and educational significance as listed.
So moved.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? Roll call vote, Mr. Picciarelli.
Yes.
Mr. Dorminio.
Yes.
Mr. Dematica.
Yes.
Mrs. DeSilvio. Yes. President Rich, yes, motion passes.
Recommend the board acknowledge the receipt of the April 2022 high school, middle school HIP report as presented.
So moved.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Recommend the board approve the March 2022 high school, middle school HIP report as presented last month.
So moved. Last month.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes.
Before I direct your attention to your district reports, I just want to report out to the board. I spoke to Mrs. Fitchie right before the meeting. Mr. Oberg, a Delsea institution, has passed away. Luckily, we were able to honor him, was it last year, Mr. Siscola? And we're really happy that we were able to get that in and show our appreciation to him. But he certainly is a Delsea legend and a Delsea institution. So I just wanted all board members to know that we had lost him.
Thank you very much. Executive board member report.
On the links there's been, there's a lot of bills that are on the floor, but nothing's been approved yet, so as soon as I hear something, I'll let you know.
Very good. Thank you so much. And there's no report.
No.
And is there any old business that anyone cares to address? Would there be any new business that anyone cares to address? Would there be any citizen comment at this time? At this time, we're ready to go into executive session, if I can have a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you.
You're fired.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Very good. We have a motion to make, Mr.
Make a motion to approve Dr. Gravener's request for her contract.
Very good.
Second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Picciarelli.
Yes.
Mr. Garino.
Yes.
Mr.
Amen.
Bill.
Tina. Yes.
President votes yes. Motion has passed.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate your support.
You're very welcome.
I tried five.
No, I'm good with where I am. I'm good with where I am.
May I have that? So we'll come down. May I have a motion to
So moved.
adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, not here.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.